some time in 1958 to 59. Ananda Marga was in its early stages. Baba had started his organization in January 1955, based on the multi-dimensional ideology of Ananda Marga, with the purpose of emancipating all beings from all kinds of suffering, and leading them to perfection. The objective of his mission is Atma Moksha Artam Jagat Hataya Char, which means salvation of self and service to all. Though it was just the beginning of this unique mission, it was growing and spreading like wildfire, attracting particularly the young and progressive people from all sections of the society. I had heard that Ananda Marga is a very good organization, and that all its members are strong moralists and strict vegetarians. They follow strictly the principle of yama and niyama, do meditation and asana regularly. Members treat each other better than their own family members. Certainly, I was attracted to it. As I was a student, and still had to finish my final examination, I wanted to give more time and energy to my studies. After I finished my final examination, I went to my native district town Motihari in Bihar for my vacation. I went for a walk one evening. When I was walking in front of the railway station, there was an in Chulturi, Dharma Sala, across the road. I saw a banner hanging in front of the gate. The banner stated, Ananda Marga Dharma Maha Chakra. Many people were entering into the building, and a lecture was being delivered, which could be heard at the gate. With curiosity, to have darshan to pay respect to Sri Sri Anandamurti Ji, I walked towards the door. There was a gentleman sitting on a chair on front of a small table at the entrance. He stopped me. He asked if I was an Ananda Margi. I said no, and he said, then you cannot enter. Only Ananda Margis are allowed. I asked him to please allow me because I just would like to pay my respect to the great man. He did not agree. I was clashed, because whenever a great person or a saintly person would come every day, everybody were allowed to pay respect and get his blessing, but here, nobody else except their members were allowed. On one side was clash, but on the other side a curiosity developed. After all, why like this? There must be some special reason that I must see Sri Sri Anandamurti Ji. I went on for my walk, but all the way kept thinking the means and ways to see Sri Sri Anandamurti Ji. An idea struck my mind. The railway platform does not belong to Ananda Margis. When Gurudeva of Ananda Marga would depart, I would see him. I made a very strong decision to see him. And so, I found out his departure schedule, and went well in advance of the departure time, to the railway platform, and started waiting for his arrival at the station, in order to board the train. A few minutes before the scheduled departure time, Baba came surrounded by Ananda Margis, and boarded the first-class reserved compartment. He sat on the seat allotted to him. That was on the platform side. Margis were pushing each other to go near him, and have a close look and do namaskar. For a moment, I became nervous, wondering how to get close, but I did not lose hope. I still had hopes to see him up close. Baba extended both his hands outside the window and was greeting the Margis. However, the train started to whistle and moved slowly. Margis were standing behind, and I was running to have a close look at Baba. His hands were still extended outside the windows. I tried my best to reach near him, and he touched both my cheeks with his extended hands. It was almost the end of the platform. I was looking at Baba in the train, and tears started rolling down my cheeks. I did not know what happened to me. I sat on the last bench of the railway platform in that state and continued crying. When I gained some sense and looked at my watch, it was already 11:30 p.m. I had been there for 3 hours. Then I went back home. Years later, when I went for personal contact, Baba asked me, why have you delayed? When one has a very strong desire to see Parama Purusa, he can break all the rules and offer himself before the devotee.